What is going on, Jet fans? Matt O'Leary back with another video. Today, what I want to get into is the Jets need to take advantage on this insanely deep position in the NFL draft. Good news, it's a need for the Jets. And if you need this position, offensive line in the NFL draft, I think this is a draft class that is beneficial for that. What's going on, guys? Matt O'Leary back with Underdog Fantasy. I am happy to tell you that there are lines already out for this Super Bowl. Now is the perfect time to sign up using my code Matt and link down below in the description. Underdog Fantasy is doing a 100% match deposit bonus up to $100. So get in on the action for the Super Bowl. I'm not going to put anything in yet this week, so I will share with you my picks for next week, but now is still the perfect time to get in on the fun over at Underdog Fantasy, so you could be involved for the big game coming up between the San Francisco 49ers and the Kansas City Chiefs. Make sure when you sign up, use my code down below in the description. Okay, so it's Senior Bowl week. Our guys, Dom, C, and Jeremy are down at the Senior Bowl, getting a lot of great interviews, talking to people, watching practices. Hopefully you've been following along with them on social media and on the Talkin' Jets Twitter account as we're retweeting some stuff over there. But I just wanted to get into how deep this offensive line group is and why I think this is a good opportunity for the New York Jets to take multiple swings at the offensive line spot. So some people who are at the Senior Bowl, some bigger names at offensive tackle, you got Fuaga, Guyton, Morgan, Paul, Suamatia. On the interior offensive line, my guy Jackson Powers Johnson. Unfortunately, I think he's going to the first round now, and I don't think the Jets are going to be in a spot where they could draft him. In my head all morning, I was trying to concoct ways for the Jets to fix tackle, move back, and just draft Jackson Powers Johnson for center and move and kick over Tippmann to guard, but unfortunately I don't think that's going to be on the table. You have guys like Graham Barton, Christian Haynes. It's a really good group down there at the Senior Bowl, so kind of jealous of all the guys going down there, watching them get the work in. But you know, overall, to me, I think that just looking not even strictly at the guys at the Senior Bowl, which there's a really good crop there. There's a good crop of talent at the position. But if you look just overall in this draft, like NFL Draft Buzz has 22 offensive linemen ranked in their top 100. Daniel Jeremiah has 11 offensive linemen in the top 50 of the draft. Now the Jets have one pick in the top 50. They have two top 100 picks. So if the Jets are using their first round pick on an offensive lineman, chances are they're going to get a good one. But if there was ever a time for the Jets to find a mid-round offensive lineman who could actually start for you, this might be the year to do it. Now, the last couple of years, the Jets have taken swings on the offensive line in the mid rounds. Max Mitchell in 2022. You also had last year was Carter Warren. I would like the Jets to take multiple swings in the NFL draft on the offensive line. It's a massive position of need, as we said, and it's a deep class. So it doesn't have to be your first two back-to-back picks, you know, pick the first rounder and the third rounder. It doesn't necessarily have to be that way, but Jets also have two picks in the fourth round. You're telling me that of their first four picks, you can't get at least two that are on the offensive line? And I get it. You have wide receiver to fill. There's other spots, but I'm not really sold on the Jets trying to use their capital on developmental guys on the defense. There's a lot of the Jets have a lot of picks. They're not early, but they've in the past taken a lot of day three swings on defensive positions. Zaire Barnes last year, Jarek Bernard Converse. Obviously it worked out really well in 2021 when they drafted Michael Carter, the slot corner, and he's been great. But they need to be great on the offensive side of the ball, and they are not. They are one of the worst teams in the NFL on the offensive side of the ball. Granted, getting Aaron Rodgers back in 2024 should help that. That should help things out offensively, but they need help on the offensive side, specifically at offensive line and wide receiver. Didn't get into wide receivers in this video, but that's maybe another topic where it's a pretty deep wide receiver core as well. So I would try to use, my early swings in the first 4 rounds. You got 4 picks in the first 4 rounds on the offensive side of the ball, specifically on the offensive line. Like at pick 10, if it's Fuaga, Fashanu, one of those guys, great. Then that's a day 1 starter. But you're telling me that you can't find someone else in the 3rd or 4th round on the interior who can maybe be a starter for you? And because let's be honest, it depends on what the Jets do with Elijah Vera-Tucker. There's a world where they play him at tackle. I know a lot of people want to play him at guard. I'm not against playing him at guard, but there's a real possibility that the Jets are going to need help on the interior of the offensive line, for starters. And like Laken Tomlinson's not a long-term answer. He's got 1 more year left on his deal. He's a cut candidate also. He would free up like $8 million of cap space if you moved on from him. Maybe you do something like that. And you have AVT at left guard, and you're trying to fill right guard through the NFL draft. There's guys who I think will be there in the 3rd and 4th round who could come in and probably play right away. BB, Zinter, Haynes out of, I really like Haynes too, out of UConn. Maybe that's someone who's there. I think Graham Barton and Jackson Powers Johnson are going to be off the board by the time the Jets are picking in the 3rd round. But man, I mean, you gotta. If you're Joe Douglas, you can't in year 6 have offensive line still be a major issue. So that's something that has to get fixed through free agency and through the NFL draft. And with this draft class, we've seen it at the Senior Bowl. There's a ton of talented offensive linemen. I hope that they're watching intently down there. But we had the rumors that they're very in on Fuaga. I love it. Big Talisi Fuaga fan. But that can't be the only swing. If we come out of the NFL draft in a couple months and the Jets take 1 offensive lineman in this draft class, it's going to be a problem. Give me 2 or 3 guys on the offensive line. Draft a couple receivers. Take some swings on the offensive side of the ball. Let me know your thoughts. What do you want to see the Jets do in the NFL draft? Do you agree with me that it's a deep offensive line class and they should take multiple swings? Sound off in the comments below. I am Matt O'Leary. Subscribe if you're new. Give the video a like before you leave, and I'll catch you next time.